Okay, this is a quick review video on a topic I've been struggling with, which was the different cells of the nervous system. So starting with neurons, which we know are really the workhorse of the nervous system, transmitting the commands of our bodies through electrical impulses. The types of neurons we have are, there's three types. We have the pseudo-unipolar neurons, which don't have any dendrites, just axons. Oops. These are sensory neurons only, and they go into the dorsal root of the spinal cord. But you can see that the cell body is has like one process coming off of it, and it splits into two branches, which are both axons, and then a signal will propagate through the pseudo-unipolar neuron without actually going through the cell body at all. Okay, so I'm going to erase that little line. I think it's confusing. All right, and then we have our bipolar neurons, which have a single axon and a single dendrite. And these are typically found in the retina or olfactory epithelium, but just one dendrite, one axon. All right, and then we have our third type, which is our multipolar neurons, which have several dendrites and just one axon. These are our most common type of neuron. All right, and so that brings us to our other type of cells in the nervous system, which are our supporting cells, and we refer to these as our glial cells. Why glial? Well, apparently glial means glue. So these are our glue cells. We have our neurons, and then we have the glue that hold them together, aka the glial cells. Well, it turns out there's quite a different number of glial cells, and it depends on whether you're in the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord, or you're in the peripheral nervous system, which is innervating the rest of the body. And so starting off, we have, if we just take a quick look at that, overall, we have in the central nervous system, we have oligodendrocytes, which are going to do myelination. We have astrocytes, which are supporting cells, primarily involved with the blood-brain barrier, but just making sure that our neurons are able to repair themselves. We have the ependymal cells, which are going to line the ventricles and secrete the cerebrospinal fluid, and then we have microglia, which are involved in phagocytosis, to eat things. And then in the peripheral nervous system, we have Schwann cells for myelination. We have satellite cells, which are supporting cells that attach to cell bodies. So starting with the microglial cells, basically they're really small, but they are phagocytic, so they're going to go ahead and eat things that aren't supposed to be there in the nervous system, or well, yeah, just that, central nervous system. Then we have our glial cells, so the regular glial cells. And let's take a look at myelinating cells, because this is something that, for me, is hard to remember. Our Schwann cells are in the peripheral nervous system. They can myelinate one axon only. So Schwann cells can myelinate one axon only, or they can loosely wrap, which is not the same as myelination, multiple exposed axons. Okay, why would you want to do that? Well, you can organize the axons and keep them in a relatively small area through the use of a Schwann cell. All right, but Schwann cells myelinate one axon only. They're in the peripheral nervous system, which is what I struggle to remember, and then they are capable of loosely wrapping multiple axons, but they can't myelinate multiple axons. All right, peripheral nervous system. All right, and then in the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord. Again, I got these two mixed up so much. Oligodendrocytes are in the central nervous system, and they can myelinate multiple axons. Right, and you could even have them myelinate the same axon more than once, but they're capable of myelinating multiple axons, and they're in the central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. Versus Schwann cells also do myelination, but in peripheral nervous system, and they're limited, one axon only. Oligodendrocytes don't have that limitation. They can myelinate multiple axons. All right, then we have our astrocytes. Our astrocytes are probably my favorite glial cell. Why? Because I think they're just really cool. But they help maintain the neurons, meaning they provide nutrients and support to the neurons, and they help to repair the neurons. And then they're also involved in the maintenance of the blood-brain barrier. And when I looked at this previously, I just remembered astrocytes' blood-brain barrier. And so in my head, I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're making the blood-brain barrier. They aren't making the blood-brain barrier. Just like other vessels throughout the human body, it's our endothelial cells that are making forming a barrier, and they're forming tight junctions between the endothelial cells. But there's thought that the astrocytes signal the endothelial cells to form these tight junctions, whereas in the rest of the body, endothelial cells might be spaced such that things can, get through them. And the whole point of the blood-brain barrier is that, that can't occur. We're not going to have large, protein, things that large particles are not going to be able to get through the blood-brain barrier. And so the astrocytes, you can see we have the astrocyte end feet, which are going to support the endothelial cells and help maintain this blood-brain barrier. All right, and this is also in the central nervous system, blood-brain barrier being our big hint. All right, and then this is just another diagram of what the astrocyte looks like, because here we're just focused on the end feet. But astrocytes are providing nutrients to help repair and support the neurons, and then help maintaining the blood-brain barrier, again providing nutrients to support and repair, signaling to form the tight junctions. All right, so then we've covered microglia, phagocytic, Schwann cells, myelination in the peripheral nervous system, oligodendrocytes, myelination in the central nervous system, astrocytes, central nervous system. This one we mentioned ependymal cells, which line the ventricular system in the brain, and it allows us to contain that cerebral spinal fluid in the central nervous system. Okay, and then finally we have our satellite cells. Our satellite cells protect and support neurons in the peripheral nervous system. You can see they attach the cell bodies of neurons. Okay, so they protect and support the neurons, and they attach the cell bodies. All right, so that's it, and hopefully that was helpful. I'm making these videos for myself, but other people are free to watch them. Good luck, guys.